The entire NFL world is in shock after a bombshell report from NFL insider Ian Rappaport confirmed what fans had been whispering for weeks. Browns owner Jimmy Haslam didn't just support Shedeur Sanders starting, he demanded it. This wasn't a suggestion, this wasn't a recommendation, this wasn't a polite conversation in a boardroom. According to insiders, Haslam straight up told Kevin Stefanski the franchise was moving forward with Shedeur as the QB1. And if Stefanski didn't like it, he could pack up his headset and bounce. That's how wild things have gotten inside Cleveland.
If you'd have told me, so you picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
Rappaport said on live TV that the plan has always been to play him, from owner Jimmy Haslam all the way on down, which basically exposes everything fans suspected. There was a power struggle behind the scenes, and Stefanski was losing it fast. The crazy part is this: if the plan was always to play Shedeur, then why wasn't he getting first-team reps for months? Why was he being tucked behind a rotation of quarterbacks who had nowhere near his arm talent, poise, or star power? Why was the team running watered-down plays, random packages, and limiting Shedeur to scout team looks while the fan base was begging to see him unleashed?
Dillon Gabriel is going to be QB2 this week because Shedeur Sanders is going to be QB1. And Gabriel got plenty of runway this season, had about 2 months essentially of starts. What they wanted to do by the end of the season is evaluate themselves thoroughly at the quarterback position and know what they have. And Shedeur Sanders earned another start. At least. The plan has always been to play him, right? That has always been what, from owner Jimmy Haslam all the way on down to Kevin Stefanski, who has been invested in Shedeur Sanders. They wanted to know what they have at quarterback, and considering the plays that he made, putting his team in position to win and actually winning, he has earned at least one more start, and I would not be surprised if he earns even more, Colleen.
Insiders now claim Stefanski was resisting the move because he didn't think Shedeur was ready, but the front office felt differently. They saw the film, they saw the leadership, they saw the confidence, and they saw the potential. Haslam reportedly watched Shedeur run private workouts and said, "That's our guy," months ago. But Stefanski still kept delaying the decision, pushing for veteran options and using injuries as excuses to avoid giving Shedeur the keys to the offense. And when the front office finally realized Stefanski was dragging his feet, Haslam stepped in with a mandate that insiders describe as aggressive, non-negotiable. And the moment everything changed. That's why things started getting tense fast. Stefanski was coaching scared, the locker room was confused, and Shedeur was stuck in the middle of a tug-of-war between the coach who wanted caution and the owner who wanted a superstar. And once Shedeur finally touched the field and lit up the defense during practice, the entire organization knew Haslam was right.
Let's look at their schedule here moving forward. And I want to blow this all the way up for y'all because I want y'all to see this. So we know Shedeur Sanders is starting this 49ers game in Cleveland. I believe this is a very winnable game. The 49ers really isn't a blitzing defense. This is another game that I think we need to pay attention to because this is Shedeur facing Cam Ward. It's tension there.
Started telling reporters off the record that Shedeur made throws they hadn't seen in years, that he brought energy the team was missing, and that the offense looked sharper the moment he took control. The tension got so real that Stefanski was reportedly pulled into a meeting and told directly, "Start him or lose the locker room." That's how intense the situation became. A rookie quarterback forcing the owner to step in, the coach scrambling to save his job, and the team caught in the middle of a power move that blew up the entire season. After Rappaport dropped the bomb, more insiders started leaking new details that make the situation look even more chaotic. Because what fans didn't know is that the Browns organization has been split for months between the old school coaching side and the new era front office side.
How realistic is it to say they give actual consideration to starting Shedeur?
I think it is unrealistic. If you look at the Browns' schedule, it's home against Joe Burrow, on the road against Lamar Jackson, home against Jordan Love, on the road against Jared Goff, then home game in London against the Vikings, then no bye, and you come home on the road against Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. That's a gauntlet. There's no way you're playing a rookie quarterback right out of the gate. It's just not going to happen.
Dylan Gabriel also, he returned to practice yesterday. Comparing can be difficult because everybody's out there. Some are against the two, some against the three. Dylan Gabriel versus Shedeur Sanders. What did you see?
It's a hard comparison to make because of what you just laid out. Dylan Gabriel is getting far more opportunities, at least through the first couple of weeks, than Shedeur Sanders. And Dylan Gabriel, much like Shedeur, has had good days and bad. He's had more opportunities with ones and twos to have good days. I was not at practice yesterday. I will be there for the joint practice tomorrow in Philly. From everything I heard, Dylan Gabriel had a really good day yesterday, but Shedeur did as well.
Haslams reportedly wanted Shedeur's era to begin immediately, believing the franchise needed a fresh face and a spark to get out of the repetitive, boring, predictable offense that had the fan base falling asleep every Sunday. But Stefanski kept pushing back, insisting on his structured system, claiming the timing wasn't right, and arguing that Shedeur needed development before being thrown into action. Meanwhile, sources say the front office would watch Shedeur effortlessly sling the ball during closed practices and get frustrated seeing him outperform QB1 and QB2 without even being given a fair shot. That's when the whispers started. Players quietly telling management that Shedeur was outplaying everyone but wasn't being rewarded for it. The locker room began to tilt in Shedeur's direction, with veterans saying he had the presence, swag, and composure they needed to energize the team. The more Stefanski resisted, the worse the vibe got. Players felt like he was purposely slowing down the offense, running conservative plays, and refusing to adjust the system to fit Shedeur's natural strengths.
Let's look at their schedule here moving forward. And I want to blow this all the way up for y'all because I want y'all to see this. So we know Shedeur Sanders is starting this 49ers game in Cleveland. I believe this is a very winnable game. The 49ers really isn't a blitzing defense. This is another game that I think we need to pay attention to because this is Shedeur facing Cam Ward. It's tension there.
Insiders say several offensive players met privately to discuss their frustration, calling the scheme outdated and restrictive, blaming Stefanski for limiting the explosiveness the roster was built for. When Rappaport dropped the report about Haslam's mandate, players weren't surprised, because they've been watching this tension grow from the inside. They said Shedeur brought an energy the coach didn't know how to manage, and instead of adapting, he tried to control it. That's when things reached a breaking point. Once Haslam realized the coach wasn't going to follow orders willingly, the mandate became more than a suggestion. It became an ultimatum. Insiders claim Stefanski tried to argue back, saying he needed more time and that Shedeur wasn't mentally ready, but the front office shut it down immediately. They believe Shedeur had the IQ, composure, and natural ability to lead the team right now, not months from now. The tension got so heavy that players said team meetings felt awkward, the offense felt disconnected, and everyone was waiting for someone to break the silence. And the moment Shedeur finally stepped up with a standout performance in practice, dropping deep bombs, breaking down defenses, and showing total confidence, that's when the entire building knew the coaching staff had lost the argument. Haslam reportedly told staff, "This is the future. Embrace it or be replaced." The writing was on the wall, and Stefanski felt the heat instantly. The moment that sealed Stefanski's fate came during a high-intensity practice session where Shedeur reportedly torched the first-team defense and had players hyped like it was game day. Insiders say Shedeur was calling audibles at the line, reading coverages instantly, and throwing lasers that had defensive backs turning around like they weren't expecting a rookie to slice them up that easily. Multiple players said it was the best quarterback performance they'd seen on the practice field in years, and even defensive leaders admitted they couldn't stop him. That footage reportedly got straight to Haslam, and that's when everything flipped. Stefanski's days were numbered. Reports say Stefanski was still hesitant even after Shedeur's breakout practice, trying to suggest a slow transition or a shared rotation, but the front office wasn't having it. They saw the potential, they saw the leadership, and they saw how the locker room reacted to Shedeur cooking the defense like a seasoned vet. Players started forming around him, receivers asked to stay after practice to run extra routes, and even linemen said they felt more motivated blocking for someone who took control of the offense with confidence. This shift created a new divide. Stefanski's coaching circle, still pushing caution, versus the players and front office, who were already seeing the Shedeur era forming in real time. Insiders said the playbook looked different when Shedeur touched it, faster, sharper, more explosive, and more unpredictable. The energy was different too. Players were smiling, laughing, hyped, and locked in, something the offense had been missing for a long time. That's when the team realized who the real leader was. What fans didn't know was that some players had already lost faith in Stefanski's approach. They said the scheme felt robotic, boring, and not built for winning in today's NFL. Shedeur brought exactly what they needed: swagger, tempo, confidence, and fearless decision-making. Stefanski knew Shedeur was becoming the heartbeat of the team, and sources say he felt his control slipping fast. The final straw allegedly happened during a heated coaches meeting where Stefanski insisted Shedeur needed more sitting time, and the front office countered by telling him Shedeur was starting whether he liked it or not. That's when insiders say Stefanski snapped, arguing the decision was forced, unfair, and too sudden, but Haslam didn't care. He wanted wins, he wanted energy, he wanted the future, and Shedeur was the only one who brought it. After that meeting, Stefanski reportedly left the facility looking defeated, while players celebrated because they knew the transition had finally begun. The Browns weren't just changing quarterbacks, they were changing the entire identity of the team. After Shedeur officially became QB1, the ripple effect across the league was insane. Former players, retired legends, analysts, insiders, and fans were all buzzing, saying the Browns had just unlocked a superstar the coaching staff was hiding for months. Clips from practice leaked online showing Shedeur throwing off-platform dimes, hitting tight windows, and moving like a natural field general. Fans went crazy, especially after his first start lit up social media with highlights that looked like something straight out of a college hype reel. And this is where things got scandalous. Insiders claim Stefanski didn't just disagree with starting Shedeur, he allegedly tried to downplay his performance to keep his system intact. Supposedly, Stefanski told staff Shedeur was raw, inconsistent, and not ready, even though the footage showed him making veteran-level reads and throwing with precision the offense hadn't seen all year. This created a massive rift. Staff members started whispering that Stefanski was more worried about protecting his system than winning games. The front office knew they couldn't let pride get in the way of progress, so Haslam doubled down and made it clear Shedeur wasn't just a temporary fix. He was the new cornerstone of the franchise. Reports even say Haslam personally met with Shedeur, telling him, "This team belongs to you now." That type of endorsement doesn't happen unless the organization sees superstar potential, and that's exactly what Shedeur brought every time he stepped onto the field. Meanwhile, Stefanski's circle started crumbling. Assistant coaches began aligning with the front office, players stopped responding to Stefanski's speeches with energy, and the building felt like a mutiny waiting to happen. The atmosphere flipped from tense to electric once Shedeur took full control. Receivers ran routes sharper, linemen blocked harder, and the locker room felt united again. The Browns haven't had this level of internal buzz in years, and analysts say Shedeur's leadership might be one of the biggest culture shifts the franchise has seen since the early 2000s. Even rival teams started scouting differently, knowing they couldn't treat the Browns like an easy matchup anymore. They knew Shedeur was coming with fire, poise, and accuracy they weren't prepared for. The biggest shock came when insiders revealed Stefanski felt betrayed by the mandate, saying the front office destroyed his authority. But players said the only thing that was destroyed was his outdated system. The Browns chose talent over ego, electricity over caution, and the future over the past, and Shedeur's rise exposed every crack in Stefanski's approach. The NFL realized the Browns weren't playing around, they were rebuilding on the fly, and Shedeur was the centerpiece of a new era. What makes this entire situation explode even louder is how Stefanski's firing and Haslam's mandate have transformed Shedeur Sanders into the most talked about rookie in the NFL right now. The second Rappaport confirmed the mandate, fans started accusing Stefanski of trying to hide Shedeur to protect his scheme, while insiders exposed how the offense instantly improved once Stefanski was out of the picture. Players started speaking anonymously, saying the vibe shifted the moment Shedeur was given control. The offense started moving smoother, receivers trusted their QB more, and the energy in practice felt completely different. The Browns front office knew they had lightning in a bottle, and they weren't about to let a cautious coach slow down the rise of a generational playmaker. Shedeur's latest game only added fuel to the fire, dropping flashy throws, dissecting defenses, and showing a level of calmness under pressure that veterans around the league praised. Legends were posting clips of his film online, saying he looked like a future superstar, and fans flooded comment sections saying Stefanski should have started him months ago. Even rival players were impressed, calling him one of the most composed young quarterbacks they've seen this season. Analysts now say Stefanski didn't lose his job because of the team's record. He lost it because Shedeur exposed how limited his system really was. The Browns front office wants creativity, speed, unpredictability, and swagger. Everything Shedeur brings naturally. Sources say the organization is already planning the next steps around him. New offensive coaches, new playbooks, new weapons, and a brand new identity built around their young QB. The city of Cleveland hasn't been this excited in years. Fans are calling Shedeur the spark, the future, and the chosen one, saying this might be the season the Browns finally break out of their old patterns. And with the coaching change, the insider leaks, the mandate news, and Shedeur's rising momentum, it's clear the Browns are stepping into a new era that's all about winning with style and fire. Stefanski fought it, resisted it, and tried to slow it down, but once Shedeur exploded on the field, the truth became too obvious to ignore. The Browns are better, stronger, and more dangerous with him leading the charge, and now with Haslam fully backing him, the rest of the NFL better be ready, because Cleveland is about to make noise this season like they never have before. Shedeur is locked in, the team is riding with him, and the league is officially on notice. Make sure to like and subscribe for more.